Good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the Swannanoa Valley through our remote online service. My name is Robert Tynes, and I'm a member of the Board of Trustees. I, like many of you, have been hunkered down for many months, and consequently, I'm sporting a COVID hairstyle like I'm sure many of you are as well. As we continue our remote online services due to the ongoing spread of COVID-19, let me call your attention to our mission statement. The mission of the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the Swannanoa Valley is to create an open, active, and welcoming liberal religious community that nurtures spirituality, inspires growth and learning in the search for truth, and challenges us to live our values conscientiously through service and example. All are welcome here, and as we like to say, you don't have to think alike to love alike. Today we have a very special service for you. It should be a beautiful and fun service featuring Jewelsong. Linda Metzner will be introducing them in a few moments. And now, our service begins. Our chalice reading for today is by Marnie Singer. The chalice is the container, the space where the musicians and the listeners gather. The oil is the fuel, the hours of practice and the life experiences of everyone in the room. The wick is the instruments and vocal cords through which the music will flow. And the flame is the music which is created as if by magic when the instruments are lifted. The breath is inhaled and the downbeat is nodded. May this flame ignite the music within us all. And now we'll light the chalice.
It is a great joy to welcome and introduce our service leaders for today, the quartet Jewelsong. They're 4 women singers and instrumentalists from the Triangle of North Carolina, whom I first heard while I was teaching a choral singing workshop on my goddess songs at the UU Women's Spirit Gathering last fall. I was captivated by their beautiful harmonies, exotic instruments, playful humor, and deeply meaningful original texts and music. Jewelsong is Betsy Backel, Faranisa Rosa, Sofiana Solem, and Marilyn Grubbs. They will be presenting the entire service, so you will hear each of them speak as well as perform music. Jewelsong had graciously accepted my request to appear at the UUCSV live last May, and then they graciously changed to a totally virtual format and the change of date for today. I thank them for their flexibility. Jewelsong came together for the first time on the Outer Banks in 2002, where they emerged like Venus from the cosmic ocean. They immediately found their performing together to be effortless and creatively fulfilling. Their music is inspired by different spiritual traditions, including the divine feminine, by the beauty of nature, and by the sacred trust of caring for the earth and our human family, and by their own imaginations and insights. Get ready to sing along, move, and be transfixed and transformed by Jewelsong.
We are living 'neath the great Big Dipper. We are washed by the very same rain. We are swimming in the stream together, some in power and some in pain. We can worship this ground we walk on, cherishing the beings that we live beside. Loving spirits will live forever. We're all swimming to the other side. I am alone and I am searching, hungering for answers in my time. I am balanced at the brink of wisdom. I'm impatient to receive a sign. I move forward with my senses open. Imperfection, it be my crime. In humility, I will listen. We're all swimming to the other side. We are living neath the great Big Dipper. We are washed by the very same rain. We are swimming in the stream together, some in power and some in pain. We can worship this ground we walk on, cherishing the beings that we live beside. Loving spirits will live forever. We're all swimming to the other side. On this journey through thoughts and feelings, binding intuition, my head, my heart, I am gathering the tools together. I'm preparing to do my part. All of those who have come before me band together to be my guide. Loving lessons that I will follow. We're all swimming to the other side. When we get there, we'll discover all of the gifts we've been given to share have been with us since life's beginning, and we never noticed they were there. We can balance at the brink of wisdom, never recognizing that we've arrived. Loving spirits will live forever. We're all swimming to the other side. We are living neath the great Big Dipper. We are washed by the very same rain. We are swimming in the stream together, some in power and some in pain. We can worship this ground we walk on, cherishing the beings that we live beside. Loving spirits will live forever. We're all swimming to the other side. Loving spirits will live forever. We're all swimming to the other side.
In our laboring to birth a new world, let's face it, labor is work. For the world we want, there's much work to do. And one of the things we must work on is forgiveness. Forgiving others, ourselves, and even life itself for not living up to our expectations. The Maya have a word for forgiveness, which is the name for this day in the sacred calendar, Ahmak. Ah refers to that which is holy, the sacredness of all things. And Mak is like a curtain of smoke that separates us from that. The veil of illusion that we're separate from God and each other causes great suffering. But the Maya recognize that in being human, we often forget our divine nature and do things that wind up missing the mark, consciously or unconsciously, hurting ourselves or others. God, who is called Aha in Mayan, always forgives us. It is up to us to do the work of giving and receiving forgiveness. When we see ourselves as separate, it puts us into camps of us and them and keeps us from creating as a whole community the world we want. There's a Sufi name for God that is forgiveness. It is Ghafur. It's the light of intelligence that helps us to see the wider picture of a situation and helps crack open a heart hardened by past hurts or toughened against future ones. Let us endeavor to forgive ourselves and others when we cannot see beyond the veil of illusion that we're separate. Let us open our hearts to the divine light, which helps us to see beyond this veil of illusion. From that place, we are whole and holy, and can work together to form a new world.
Forgive me when I cannot see beyond the veil of illusion. Forgive me when I cannot see beyond the veil of illusion. I open my heart to the divine light, which helps me to see beyond the veil of illusion. I open my heart to the divine light, which helps me to see beyond the veil of illusion. Ya Rafur, Ya Rafur, Ya Rafur, Ya Rafur, Ya Rafur, Ya Rafur. Forgive me when I cannot see beyond the veil of illusion. Forgive me when I cannot see beyond the veil of illusion. I open my heart to the divine light, which helps me to see beyond the veil of illusion. I open my heart to the divine light, which helps me to see beyond the veil of illusion. Ya Rafur, Ya Rafur, Ya Rafur, Ya Rafur, Ya Rafur, Ya Rafur.
Hi, everybody. I'm missing all of you. Although I met up with someone I met from the Unitarian Church this morning. I have something that I love and I wanted to share it with you. It's called The Goal of Yoga by Rachel Bracken. The yoga pose is not the goal. Becoming flexible is not the goal. Standing on your hands is not the goal. The goal is to create space where you were once stuck, to unveil the layers of protection you've built around your heart, to appreciate your body and become aware of the mind and all the noise it creates, to make peace with who you are. The goal is to love, well, you.
Okay, you're going first? Okay, this is for joys and concerns, and we have two joys. I'm Susan.
And I'm Mamie.
And so this is Desi.
And this is Lucy.
And these are our two new joys. We wanted you to know about them and share in our joy with us. And Mamie is going to talk a little bit about Lucy.
Lucy is a mama dog. She is a Bichon. She's 6 years old. She's had 4 litters, and now she's been put out to pasture. And we're just loving it, aren't we, Lucy?
And this is Desi. He's a Havanese puppy, and he is into everything, and plus he loves Lucy.
We have a joy and a concern and a surprise. We thought we knew what having 2 dogs in the house would be like, but surprise, surprise.
And they're peeing and pooping machines.
What else you want to say, honey?
That's it.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
As I wander on this shoreline, over coral rocks and silky sand, I envision ancient humans, one with nature, part of sea and land. As I step carefully past shards of broken glass and rusted soda cans, I am aching at the taking and the tainting of this precious land. And I wonder how it ends. I wonder how it ends. I wonder, will she let us live and try to make amends? I wonder how it ends. I wonder how it ends. I wonder, will she take us out and start over again? I wonder, I wonder, I wonder, I wonder, I wonder, I wonder. Now the climate's getting warmer and the seas are rising ever higher. Each year storms are fiercer, floods are wider, droughts are even drier. Glaciers are receding, forests raised or blazing, land depleted, oceans turning toxic. We are in the midst of mass extinction. I wonder how it ends. I wonder how it ends. We're altering the constants upon which our life depends. I wonder how it ends. I wonder how it ends. Can we save her from this fever? Can we balance her again? I wonder. I wonder. I wonder. I wonder. I wonder. I wonder. We are more than foolish mortals, plagued by ignorance and arrogance. Yet we're dancing with destruction. What can wake us from our deadly trance? In each moment rests the power to connect with love or dwell in fear. Can our passion for creation lure us out to see the beauty here? And I wonder how it ends. I wonder how it ends. Will we heed the death through soon enough to change these awful trends? I wonder how it ends. I wonder how it ends. Can we save us from our madness? Can we honor her again? crashing through the breakers, pink and aqua, golden crashing from. You are laughing, you are playing, you are all this. This is all our wonder. I thank you for this life. I thank you for this life. I thank you for the beauty that dissolves our pain and strife. I thank you for this life. I thank you for this life. I thank you for this moment when it's good to be alive. I am in wonder, in wonder, in wonder. 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 I wonder, I wonder, I wonder.
The song you previously heard, I Wonder, asks us to face some really bleak possibilities, even the uncertainty of whether we or our planet will survive. For me, it's pretty hard to imagine how we can overcome all the challenges the world is facing and get to a better place. So, I have a story that might help us imagine some more hopeful possibilities. It's the story of how a caterpillar turns into a butterfly. Now, I'm sure that you know the basics of that story. The tiny caterpillar hatches out of an egg, then eats lots and lots of leaves and grows bigger and bigger, and then forms a cocoon or chrysalis around itself. Then, after a while, a butterfly emerges. But do you know what happens inside that chrysalis? Does the caterpillar change incrementally, kind of like a tadpole that grows legs and absorbs its tail as it turns into a frog? No. The caterpillar goes through a process of complete transformation. Its body totally dissolves into a sort of goo. And that goo contains something really remarkable, something called imaginal cells that somehow contain the blueprint to create a butterfly from the goo. The imaginal cells know how to organize the substances in the goo into something completely new. A creature emerges that looks completely different and has the capability of doing things and going places that are unimaginable to the caterpillar. So how does that apply to what we're going through right now? I'm guessing that you have some idea of that. We human beings are cocooning like caterpillars, and we may feel that our lives, even our society are dissolving. In the midst of all that, we have the opportunity to reimagine ourselves as something fundamentally different from what we've been before, something that so far we haven't been able to imagine. So what can you imagine for yourself, for your loved ones, for your community, for the world? To help you out with that, we'll be sharing quite a few hopeful and inspiring ideas during the rest of this service. And you'll have a chance to collect those imaginal cells into a particular type of butterfly that you choose to become, to create. Yes, we are dancing with destruction, as the song says. But if we can get past the fear of that, welcome the dance, be willing to let go of what's ready to pass, and become aware of our imaginal selves, then we can emerge as something we've never been before, something unimaginable to our former selves with amazing capabilities. And we just might be able to transform the world into something more beautiful than we've ever seen before.
Please sing along. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Working for the earth, I'm gonna let it shine. Working for the earth, I'm gonna let it shine. Working for the earth, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Changing how we live, I'm gonna let it shine. Changing how we live, I'm gonna let it shine. Changing how we live, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Cleaning up the seas, I'm gonna let it shine. Saving all the bees, I'm gonna let it shine. Guarding all our trees, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
What is this little light of mine? What can one person do? Sojourner Truth was the first black woman to sue a white man in a U.S. court and win. Mahatma Gandhi used nonviolence to free the Indian nation from colonial rule and changed the nature of protest forever. Rosa Parks chose an illegal seat on a bus and started the civil rights movement. Dr. Wangari Maathai started the Greenbelt movement that has planted 51 million trees. Greta Thunberg skipped school to protest global warming and started a youth climate uprising. Lin-Manuel Miranda in Hamilton retold our founding narrative to include people of color. 2 congressional staffers wrote a pamphlet on creating change and started Indivisible. Some people teach, some research, some write, some heal, some feed, some build, some sing, some create. Everybody has a gift to bring to the world. Your light may never be written in history books, but it changes something for someone, and it matters. Mother Teresa said, "We can do no great things, only small things with great love." What is your small thing today?
Now is the time for change. Now we must rearrange all that has held us was here, paralyzed by our fear. Now we are stepping free, learning to simply be, dancing with hearts on wing, honoring everything. This is my deepest longing, this is my heart's desire, this is my sweetest singing, this is my soul on fire, this is my softest thrill, this is my spirit's will, this is my purest song. I've known it all along. This is my deepest longing, this is my heart's desire, this is my sweetest singing, this is my soul on fire. More than a revolution, we seek our evolution. When hunger and war are done, then we will have begun being all we can be, dancing our spirits free, living in synergy, one with divinity. This is my deepest longing, this is my heart's desire, this is my sweetest singing, this is my soul on fire, this is my softest thrill, this is my spirit's will, this is my purest song. I've known it all along. This is my softest thrill, this is my spirit's will, this is my purest song. We've known it all along. Tell us your deepest longing, tell us your heart's desire, sing us your sweetest singing, show us your soul on fire. What is your softest thrill? What is your spirit's will? What is your purest song? How can we sing along? Tell us your deepest softest thrill, tell us your heart's desire, sing us your sweetest singing. We've known you all along. We've known you, we've known you, we've known you all along.
Philosopher and author Charles Eisenstein talks about the stories that our current social systems are based on. For at least the last 10,000 years, our entire social order has been based on a false story of separation, which says that we are all unconnected beings, separate from each other, also from animals, forests, oceans, and the earth herself. The good news, Eisenstein says, is that the false story is coming to an end. It is already being replaced by the story of interbeing and a revolution of love. It is being replaced by the burgeoning study of what is known as morphic resonance, that a field of living energy surrounds and connects all that is. Because of this field, as one individual makes a change or a shift, it is instantly available to all other individuals. Each of us has unlimited power to affect unlimited change, like Rosa Parks did, like Greta Thunberg is doing. Our own creativity and inspiration, our own heart's desire is the informational goo of what comes next. Does the caterpillar have to figure out how to make the butterfly? No, it doesn't. In fact, it couldn't possibly. It just releases into its imaginal self. So let's spend a few minutes connecting with our own imaginal self, which theoretically connects us with the imaginal selves of everyone else. To enable this connection fully, let's first begin by dissolving the illusion of separation in an ocean of forgiveness. First, we forgive ourselves for all the ways we think we have come up short or have missed the mark. What personal shame or blame is arising that's ready to be released in this moment? Now we open a space of forgiveness for others, and we invite others into our awareness. Who comes to receive our gift of forgiveness? And now we listen to our heart. What can I transform into? What can the world transform into? What is it that I want to birth? Poets have been asking these questions for millennia, and a recent poet asks in a particularly compelling way. The Summer Day by Mary Oliver. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean, the one who has flung herself out of the grass, who is eating sugar out of my hand, who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is glancing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I have been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?
Here on this beautiful day, we are gathered to say, we will work, we will play, we will dance, we will pray for the healing of this wondrous and enchanting planet. From the recklessness, the carelessness, the damage from our fearful and foolish relationship to our Creator, Sustainer, forgive us. We're starting to live so that all of life has space to thrive and be respected. If we would survive, we have to learn. sun, and we find that it's fun to be part of something bigger than we know we can achieve. And we're stepping out to heal the earth. We're choosing to believe in the beauty around us and in us. We see our community blossoming, healing us so. We let beauty lead the way to a bright and balanced day, when the earth and all our kin and ourselves are wholly here on this beautiful day. We are gathered to say we will work, we will play, we will dance, we will pray for the healing of this wondrous and enchanting planet, from the recklessness, the carelessness, the damage from our fearful and foolish relationship to our Creator, Sustainer. Forgive us. We're starting to live, so that all of life has space to thrive and be respected. If we would survive, we have to learn. We're all connected, so we begin from the heart, and we choose just one part of the work to be done, and we find that it's fun to be part of something bigger than we know we can achieve. And when we're stepping out to heal the earth, we're choosing to believe in the beauty around us and in us. We see our community blossoming, healing us. So when beauty lead the way to a bright and balanced day, when the earth and all our kin and ourselves are whole again.
So where do we go from here? It seems to me we have everything we need except a clear destination. We are so used to dragging the past with us into the future that we have a hard time envisioning where we truly want to go. We have habits of thought which reside not just in our individual subconscious, but also, according to Carl Jung, in our collective unconscious. Anyone who has tried to break a bad habit knows that our subconscious minds and the habits they control have a lot more power over our actions than our conscious mind would like to admit. And the subconscious does not understand negatives. If you say, "Don't think of an elephant," it pictures an elephant. That's why when people use hypnosis to overcome smoking, they are not told not to smoke, but to enjoy breathing fresh, clean air and to take a deep breath when they need a break. We are consciously against war and racism and exploitation, but our collective unconscious doesn't understand against. It just gets that those things exist. Our subconscious minds also cannot tell the difference between reality and imagination. So I want to suggest a practice to change our individual and collective unconscious. For a moment, I invite you to close your eyes and imagine that everyone everywhere has clean air and water, plenty of delicious, healthy food to eat, beautiful, pleasant, safe homes in beautiful, pleasant, safe neighborhoods set in healthy environments. Imagine everyone with satisfying and challenging work, family and friends who adore them, and plenty of outlets for their creative, physical, intellectual, and spiritual endeavors. What else do we really need? None of this is impossible or even particularly difficult. It's certainly not as tricky as going to Mars or building nuclear weapons, and it's probably a whole lot cheaper too. It is simply a matter of choice. Now put yourself in that future and look at today as the Dark Ages. What a relief to be out of there, eh? Imagine how you feel each day waking up knowing that all over the world people are well taken care of. Imagine all humans living in balance with the natural world. Imagine enough for everyone and the amazing flowering of human potential. How do you feel? How do you hold yourself? What do you do differently? What do you think about? What memories of utopia are you creating now? Let's marry our images of our ideal world to the feelings of peace and joy we feel when we're there. Then let's hold these feelings, thoughts, and memories in our bodies and carry them into the next action we take in creating that future together.
This is a poem by E. Cummings. I thank you, God, for most this amazing day, for the leaping greenly spirits of trees and a blue true dream of sky, and for everything which is natural, which is infinite, which is yes. I who have died am alive again today, and this is the sun's birthday. This is the birthday of life and of love and of wings and of the gay, great, happening, illimitably earth. How should tasting, touching, hearing, seeing, breathing, any lifted from the no of all nothing, human merely being, doubt unimaginable you? Now the ears of my ears awake, and now the eyes of my eyes are open.
Remember the way of the wind and breathe and blow. Remember the way of the fire and sparkle and glitter and glow. Remember the way of the water and ebb and flow. Remember the way of the earth and grow. Remember the way of the wind and breathe and blow. Remember the way of the fire and sparkle and glitter and glow. Remember the way of the water and ebb and flow. Remember the way of the earth and grow. Remember.
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 Remember. Remember. Remember. Remember. Remember.